Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a flip through of Gather Round Earth Science. I love you. These I watercolored them. I'm really excited to do this review of Gather Round Homeschool curriculum. This is my first time having my hands on any of their curriculum. So much about it. I watched a lot of YouTube videos here about it, and I'm excited to finally have some like in my hands and I can see it and page through it. I know they have a week's worth of free samples online, but I am excited to be having it in my own hands, be able to go through every single page by page, and see what's in there. I did buy this with my own money, and so all the opinions expressed are my own. So if you're not familiar with Gather Round Homeschool, it is where you do like unit studies, and it's really ideal, I think, for like larger families where they have kids in multiple grades. And so you can all study the same like subject at the same time, but then each student would have a workbook at their level. And so that way the mom doesn't have to feel so stretched between teaching all of her kids at different levels. So Rebecca Spooner is the author of Gather Round Homeschool, and she has a channel here on YouTube also. So I went on her website, Gather Round Homeschool website, to I wanted to buy a PDF of Gather Round, and you're able to look through her different unit topics and pick whichever topic you want. And when you go to purchase it, then she has several options. You can buy like already printed, or you can buy the PDF. And when you buy the PDF, you can pick whether you want to buy the one that is for like all the grades, but it's a little more expensive, or you can pick one for $19.99, I think it is, and you get the teacher's manual and one student level. And so for my family, that is really ideal because I only am teaching one grade. I only have twins that are in first grade, and my other boys aren't in school yet. So for me, I was really excited that she had that option to be able to buy for one grade level at a little bit cheaper price. So since I have twins, I went ahead and got two of them. These are both the early reader. My boys will be going into first grade this year, and they can read a little bit, but they're still at the early reader stage. And I got this idea from Rachel at 7 and All here on YouTube. She printed the student ones in black and white, and I got the teacher's manual printed in color. At that little print store I go to, they can only print one-sided in color. They can't do double-sided. So normally the book is only half this thick, and as you can see, it's only printed on one side. And then here are the student ones. It's black and white, but it's printed double-sided, so it ends up being a lot thinner. And they were able to bind it there for me. So if you look online, there's lots of different options for how to bind these or how to store them. All right, so I will turn the camera around and give you guys a flip through of these books. I'm so excited about them. So very first of all, I will show you guys the teacher's guide of Gather Round Homeschool. This is the Earth Science Unit Study. The way I did mine, it has plastic on the top and then just regular paper here. And like I already said, the print shop I went to could only print one-sided in color, so that's why mine was only printed on one side. So this is a note to the teacher from Rebecca Spooner. What is the Gather Round difference? She just talks about how she's tried almost every curriculum out there. She wanted something where she could teach all of her kids at the same time, and this covers 9+ subjects in every unit. So they do not put age restrictions on these here. They want you to pick what is the appropriate one for your student in spite of their age, but the levels and the recommended age ranges are: the pre-reader is 3 to 5, or any student not yet reading; early reader, early elementary, upper elementary, middle, and high. And like I already said, I got the early reader. My boys were kind of right between pre-reader and early reader. It would be interesting to see how they would do with the pre-reader because they're really needing reinforcement of their phonetics yet, but they also can read. They're not, like here it says, not yet reading. They can read some. For my boys, it was a little bit hard for me to decide between pre-reader and early reader because here it says any students not yet reading, which my boys can read some, but they're still definitely learning how to read. They still need a lot of review in their phonetics, but they can definitely read some. Okay, down here it says A Day with Gather Round Homeschool. You read from the teacher's guide, which is this book, which takes about 15 to 30 minutes, and then you have your student work in their individual student notebook, which takes anywhere from 30 to 90 minutes. And she says it depends a lot on how interested the students are in the topic, and if they're more interested in it, you can go down bunny trails, research it more, find YouTube videos, documentaries, get library books, all kinds of stuff to delve into the topic more. So once you would be done with these two things and then do your math, you could be done for the day. So each unit study will include pages like notebooking, history, science, grammar, social studies, art, Bible, copywork and spelling, writing projects, or drawing if your kid's not there yet, and geography. So it says how long does it take, and it says how long it takes depends on your kids. If time is short, you can easily finish all your subjects in 1.5 to 2 hours and just add math and you're finished. But if they're interested in it, you can delve into it more. They also have a Facebook page where they post resources for each unit into a file, and you can find this on Facebook at Gather Round Homeschool. She talks about the supplies that you need for, they're really just basic supplies, and then most people want to know, is this enough? And she talks about that here. And then one thing I really like is for each level, this is like the pre-reader, there's book suggestions, early reader, early elementary, upper elementary, middle school, and high school, and plus field guides. So back here, I will probably pick out some from both the pre-reader and the early reader. And one thing, we live outside of the US, we live in Cambodia, we don't have Amazon, and the libraries are closed currently because of what's going on in the world. So pretty much it can be hard to find English books here. So pretty much my only option is to see if I can find them online. One really great resource I found is YouTube has people reading books. And so what I'll do is I'll just go down through the list and see which ones I can find on YouTube, or a similar book on the same topic, or like a little kid's video about it. And then the next page is lesson plans, one for each lesson. So there's 20 lessons in this unit. She has a place here of list, notes, don't forget. It's so pretty, I love all the watercolor. Adventures, you could do like field trips that you want to go on during this unit study. Here's a shopping list for a few of the experiments or crafts that you can do if you want. You could write that there. Another pretty page you could color. First science table of content, again the pretty watercolor. And here is all the different topics. My boys are going to find this so interesting. These are things that my boys are naturally interested in. They love to learn about like earthquakes, volcanoes, glacier, ice cap, rocks, thunder and lightning, wind and wind fronts, tornadoes, hurricanes, climate change, climate zones, biomes. That'll be interesting to study with us living in Cambodia, but traveling to the States fairly often. Okay, and then this is lesson 1. Up here's the number 1. So the first lesson covers the Earth, history, age, and composition. This is a note to the teacher just saying that there are different worldviews on how the world began, even amongst Christians. And so she talks about that in here a little bit, and she gives you different options. She talks about when is the Earth's birthday. And up here she says, actually, we don't know the Earth's birthday, but the Bible tells us and talks about that. So there's definitely Bible worked into it, which I think is great. Here's different biblical theories, young Earth creationist, old Earth creationist. And she says you can either skip these if you want, or use it as a place to start a discussion with your kids. Here's an idea for an activity break. She has these mixed in throughout the lessons, and I think they're really great. Here she says, read Genesis 1 together, and she recommends having your kids work on their notebooking pages while you read so that they don't have to do it from memory afterwards, especially for younger students. Non-biblical theories, the composition of the earth. Yeah, let me show you. This would be, okay, so this is all lesson 1 that you would be reading to them. And then here's an assignment. Each student should work in their own notebook. Open your notebook to today's lesson and complete the assignment. Here are the sources she got, and since I have this on my computer, I can click on those links or clickable links if I want to look up more. Here's optional spelling words from the list. Lesson 1, Day at a Glance Introduction. Here's a hands-on version. You can make like an earth out of dough or out of clay, which I think we might do because we have some clay in blue and green colors. Would be perfect. Science notebooking, what's happening? So for the early reader, what they need to do, the early, upper elementary, the middle and high, and here are the answers. Lesson 1, Day at a Glance Introduction. Social studies. What is geologist? And they talk about that and have different assignments for each reader. Here's what you'll be doing for science this day, layers of the earth, what you'll be doing for language arts and Bible, copywork and spelling, early reader, the different levels here. Here's art and Bible, draw or defend. And then that's it. That'll be lesson 2. So let's go over here now and see what's in this one for lesson 1. So again, the way I got mine printed was the plastic on the front and then just regular paper and color here. So just remember that this is in black and white, and she does have it in color. I just chose to get it done in black and white because it's cheaper to get it printed. Welcome to Earth Science is scope and sequence for the early reader. Geography, social studies and history, science, early reader, language arts. This is language arts, Bible, and art. This here is my reading log, which I think this is so fun and creative. Here's the title, the author, the book cover. Write or draw your favorite character, my favorite part, and you can rate it. And then she has different versions of the same thing throughout here, which I think is really fun. And another page. And then here is the contents. Here's a picture they could color if they wanted. Okay, then this is what they would be doing for lesson 1. Now remember, this would be in color normally. Like when the world was created, what order? So you have to put like 1, 2, 3 in the correct order. And in the back of here, right here, cut out for lesson 1, days of creation. So while you're reading out of the teacher's book, this would be a great hands-on activity for them to be working on. They can cut these out and glue them at the correct places as you're reading about how the earth was created, so they can be listening. And then down here she says you can write something that they can copy, or they can write their own sentence. One thing I learned. Subject focus is science. The subject focus here is science and art. And this is learning about a geologist. So you're supposed to study all about it. She has instructions here, and you're supposed to draw a picture of someone as a geologist. This is their Bible verse that they're supposed to be working on this week. And so here they trace it, and she also talks about having them say it each day to practice it, to try to memorize it. Here's your spelling. The word is earth, and I think this is a fun way to practice spelling. This here is your subject focus is science, and they need to label the different parts of the earth. If we go to the back again, right here, cut out for lesson 1, structure of the earth. So they can cut these out and glue them on. Here you can try your hand at drawing the earth. And like I said, in the teacher's manual, she talked about doing a hands-on one of like using clay to make an earth. I think we'll probably do that also. And then over here it moves on to lesson 2. So that would be what you would do for 1 day. So how many pages is that? So this is what you'd be doing for just 1 day. This page, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I can show you more of the early reader when I'm done with the teacher's one. So back to the teacher's one. Yeah, she goes through and gives the instructions here for all the different subjects and the different levels. And then you're on to lesson 2. Lesson 2 is Gather Around Homeschool Landforms of the Earth. So here's an introduction, Bible verse, and then it goes through and has descriptions and pictures. Beautiful pictures. I'm so glad I got this done in color. Here's an extension activity, another extension activity. She has these mixed in throughout it. Here's the assignment, the sources, and then again, it's a day at a glance for landforms. She goes through the different subjects again, what's happening in them. And then you're on to lesson 3, fuels and energy. All right, I'm just going to flip through here and let you guys have a look at it. Oh, here's an extension activity, and she talks about you can take a virtual tour of a hydroelectric plant, and here's the link. Okay, so I skipped a few there, and we're going to skip to lesson 20. It's the last lesson, climate zones and biomes. And again, it's got color pictures. And then here's your lesson at a glance for biomes. Here's the appendix, Earth Science Appendix. I love the beautiful watercolor. Image credits. And here's a world map, continents, countries, and bodies of water. Here's a map of the U.S. And that's it. Okay, and here's Earth Science, the early reader from Gather Around Homeschool. And we'll start lesson 2 since I already showed you all this. So this is science. This is focus. This is subject focus is language arts. My baby, my 7-month-old is behind me if you hear him talking. So this one here I think is going to be a lot of fun. It's where you start working on your science journal, which she has in the back of the book. I'll show you a little bit. But step 1, you choose your first entry topic. So the child can pick what topic they're interested in, which is really fun. It immediately gets their interest. And then step 2 is, what do you already know about this topic? What questions do you still have? Write or ask a parent to help you write any information and questions in the box below. Write as many ideas for your writing project as you can. Next week we will learn about your topic in more detail, so that you can do that down here. Over here they have you start using a dictionary or an thesaurus they have you use later on, which I think is really fun. And this one here is geography. It actually has a little bit of math mixed in. And then this subject focus is history, and then we move on to lesson 3. So I'm just going to continue to flip through here. I think considering that this is in black and white, it's still really nice and fun to look at. All right, we're at lesson 13 here, and she is here at the bottom talking about delving into like a rabbit hole, really following the path that your child is interested in, asking questions to find the answers to them. I really like that. I'm going to skip to lesson 20 because copyright rules, I don't want to show every single page. So here's what lesson 20 is like in the early reader. Here's our science appendix, image credits, and then here's your science journal by, and then it's got for your different entries. Here it has the different cutouts that you need for the different lessons. Pages that are left intentionally blank, so that way it's easy to print double-sided. This here is for your rock journal, the rock name, and you draw it. I got my baby here with me, so I'm trying to turn this one-handed. If you hear him breathing, I'm holding him here on my hip. More rock journal entries, and last page of rock journal entries, and how to make your own weather station, how to record your data. This looks like fun. And then here's weather journal, and I think this also looks like fun. And then that's it for this book. And so that is it for Gather Round Homeschool, the Teacher's Guide, and the Early Reader. I hope you enjoyed that flip through. Okay, so we are in here doing our Gather Round from Earth Science Unit Study from Gather Round, and we are trying to make globes. We learned about landforms of the Earth today. This is lesson 2. And what I did, since my kids are so little, I went through and just highlighted the things I wanted to be sure to tell them and talk about, and that way I wouldn't lose their attention span so fast. I showed them the pictures, and then each landform they had to try to use their clay to make the different landform. Like here was a basin, so we learned about all these different landforms, and then now we are trying to, we did the landforms. Now we're going to make just a globe like this one out of our clay, and then we'll let it harden overnight. So I have some reference books here that we can look at to see how we want to shape it. And then we're later going to learn a little bit how to use a dictionary. We're going to look up Earth and some stuff in there. I'm going to teach them a little bit about that. Okay, so we are done, and there's their worlds, and the one we still need to put the green land on it yet. But yeah, I think they did really well. Good job, boys. Mount Everest is one mountain that many people dream of climbing. Being able to say that you climbed the highest. Would you like to climb the highest mountain on Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah? Zadok, would you like to climb the highest mountain on Earth?
This.
Yes. So they're drawing some people climbing up Mount Everest. Hey guys, so I just wanted to hop on here and give you guys kind of a little recap of how this is going. We just finished up lesson 2, and so I thought I'd just hop on here and give you guys a little bit update of how it's going. So my kids are really little yet. They are just in 1st grade, and then I also have 2 little boys, and so my 2-year-old is in here with me also, and the baby's in here sometimes. But for the 1st graders, what I did is I went through and I read this, but I kind of paraphrased those to the boys, and then we talked about the core of the Earth and all the different layers. I thought that was really interesting, and we looked it up in some of our other books, different pictures of it for them to see. And then for lesson 1, we did the student notebook pages in here. And then we just got done doing lesson 2 today. And so what I did, since my boys are so little and I felt like I kind of lost their interest a little bit last time, I went through and I just highlighted what I wanted to be sure to say to them. And then that way, when I went through and read it first and highlighted what I want to say to them. And then I went through and just like showed them the pictures of the different landforms and just talked about like the different things I want to be sure to tell them about. And that worked really well. I was able to hold their interest a lot better. And then on top of that, we had some clay that I had gotten to make these globes. But before we made the globes, I had them just use the clay to make all the different landforms. So they had to make like a plateau with the clay, mountain, hills, plains, valleys. My boys just thought this was so funny though. They're such little boys. Canyon, basin, and then we did the notebooking pages. Okay, and then when we were done using the clay for the different landforms, we made these globes with it. And it's just a white styrofoam ball in the middle, and then we put the clay around the outside to form the different world continents. And it's it was a little bit hard for them. It took a while, but it was fun. And my 2-year-old had fun just playing with the clay. It was fun for him to do, and it was a good thing for them to have a hands-on project while I read to them, and the 2-year-old could be involved in it as well. So then we moved to the student notebooking pages. So I would say of the 2 lessons that we've done so far in here, we really like it. We're really enjoying it so far. It definitely works good for the reading parts. For my boys, that's something to do with their hands. Whether it would be like drawing or coloring or playing with clay. The clay thing worked really well today, but I don't know if that'll work every day. And then I think I also want to try some snacks. I think snacks would be a really good thing too to go with this. All right, I wanted to show you guys these books here quick. These are a lot of books from our center. From the library there. There are a lot of Usborne books, but these are all books that I am going to be using with our Earth Science Gather Round. And so we're only in lesson 2, but the 4 that we've used so far is the Usborne, my first reference book, Our World, Planet Earth, A Look Inside Our World. This says Lift the Flaps. This one's really great. And then the dictionary one, an illustrated dictionary. So I would definitely recommend all these. What I did is I went through for the tabs, like today we did lesson 2, and these are all the different pictures that I wanted to be sure to show them. So we don't necessarily read the whole book, but I just go through and find what pertains to what we're learning about for that day. This one here is really great to show like the layers of the earth, which we learned about in the first lesson. And this one here was really great for today. We learned about how mountains can be in the water, and how the tallest mountain actually isn't Mount Everest. The tallest one is one that starts in the ocean and comes out of the land and goes up high. And Usborne, my first reference book about our world, I was able to show them about like the desert and grassland, and also just like another picture of the world. We used this one when we made our little clay globes. We had to look at this. Okay, and then these are books that I'll be using as time moves on, and I'm sure we'll go back and look at some of the pictures of these also. But this is Above and Below, and it has like flaps you can lift here to see like what's underneath the water. This here is the rainforest. You can lift it. This is a lift the flap, what makes it rain, and it's a lot of different questions about like weather and stuff like that. Secrets of the Earth, You Shine a Light. It's one of those where, what is this hot fiery ball in space? Is it at the sun? And you can shine a light underneath here, and these words will shine through. Same over here, shine a light, and then those things there will shine through on the other side. So my boys love books like that. This one is the Usborne Living World Encyclopedia, so we can use this to look up all different things. This is storms and hurricanes, which we'll be getting to, volcanoes, and just more weather. And then these 2 are Usborne, they're sunny day and rainy day. So just bright pictures, cute stories. Oh, and I also have Wild Places, or I don't have it, the library or center has it. And again, it's just all great pictures for kids, young kids especially. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the flip through of these books, and I'm excited to use them. I think my boys are going to enjoy studying all the different things that are in there. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys again soon. Bye!